Hello YouTubers, this is Assassin's Creed 2555 and I am going to be starting a series of tutorials on how to use Blender 3D and Microsoft Visual C++ 2010. And don't be thinking that I'm going to be like showing you 2.49. This is just to get a little familiar with both of them and stuff. But I'll be showing you most of these tutorials for Blender 3D will be using 2.58, but I'll be showing you, if you're the kind of person who likes using like Blender 2.49. I'm also going to be showing tutorials on how to redo it on Blender 2.49. Well, at least as much as you can with it. So pretty cool and everything. So and then I'll just be showing you Microsoft Visual C++ 2010 Express. And I'll be showing you this so that you can make some pretty nice looking games. That's my main goal for using Blender and Microsoft Visual C++ 2010. And also I'm just gonna throw a little extra thing in there, and once I download it correctly, I'm going to be putting in Ogre 3D, and it's a little add-on that you can put to this or code blocks. And I'll show you how to use that once I get to it. But anyways, we'll just before we start getting into Blender and Microsoft Visual C++ 2010, we are going to be learning how to use or make a simple little project in Cartography Shop and DarkBasic Professional. Now, if you're asking, well, why did I just tell you Microsoft Visual C++ 2010 and Blender 3D? Why was I talking to you about that stuff if I'm not going to be making a tutorial on it? And the reason being is because I am going to be, for example, I'm using Cartography Shop as I'm putting it as if it's in ranking wise, I'm putting it as a lower version of Blender. Although Blender didn't make it, I'm just saying it's like ranked really low. So it's really good to start off for the basics. And for DarkBasic Professional, it's a little code. We can add some code to it and stuff. So that's going to help us for using Microsoft Visual C++ before we get into that. And just to let you know, I'm not going to be this is just kind of like an exclusive where I'm showing you two of these. How to use both of these. This is just a little exclusive thing. I'm not going to be literally showing you every single tutorial how to use Microsoft Visual C++ and Blender at the same time. I'm going to be doing these individually in separate tutorials. And after this tutorial, I'm going to be starting out with a brand new series using Blender 3D. Well, anyways, let's just open up Cartography Shop. And for Cartography Shop and DarkBasic Professional, I will show you where to download it or where to buy it in the link. Okay, so now we have Cartography Shop opened. So let's just make a simple project. So, make a cube or rectangle. And as you can see here, we can drag it from either point. We can drag it outwards, upwards, downwards, any kind of way we want. But for it to actually, for the computer to actually know that this is a hole, we have to hit enter for it to make itself a whole object and not just a diagram. And let's see. Alright, and I'll show you what happens if you don't do that. So here's my object. If I just right click on or left click on something else, it goes away. So we have to make the rectangle, shape it how we want, and hit enter. Now, as you can see here, it's taken away our lines that we had to the sides of it. Don't worry about that much right now. Oh yeah, this is middle mouse button that I'm doing. But as you can see right here, there's an X. Now, if I am correct, this is the top mode. This is the top mode. This is the side mode. And this is the front mode. And all we have to do to select it is hit the X in either one of these views, or we can just left click it right here. And now if we let's see which button it is. If you hit F12 on any screen that you have, because right now it's in quad view, so whichever screen we hit F12 on, it just makes that big. So I'm just going to leave it as quad view right now, but if we click on it, we can see our regular object panels displayed. And if we left click, it's still there. So no problem with that. And also, if you hit X again, you can see now it's changed to rotating. We hit X again, now it has changed to, what, scaling? I'm pretty sure that's scaling. And then we have our basic one again. I don't think that's scaling. I'm not exactly sure what that's called, but anyways, now you've just learned a few basic tools for this. So hit X in the middle of your screen on your diagram, or just left click out of it and click over here. And as you can see, there is a bricks design. You just hit the up arrow. You can zoom in like that, or the middle mouse button. And as you can see, if we go inside of it, we can't see anything. The reason for that being is because we haven't done one, we have to add something to it for us to be able to see inside of it. Now I'm going to be showing you that in 1 second. Now first, let's just say we have this object, so I want to change this texture from being a brick to what? A wall texture. So we click on it, and as you can see over here, it's a texture group. And the texture group is a brick. Now, they have all these different kinds of texture groups. Usually I don't really go through this kind of editing. I usually just go over here and click Browse. And now as you can see, we have all these options displayed. So let's just click on floor. And I'm kind of a wood person. It's hard to explain, but let's just go through them. Choose which one you want. For example, hardwood floor. Okay, I'm just going to click OK. And you have to, so make sure you select it, and then click Apply. And now, as you can see, it has my texture that I want. Pretty cool. So now that we've done this, let's just make a few more adjustments. So, let's go into here, click in the middle, go to Tools, and click on Carve. Not sure why it keeps doing that, but I'm actually meaning hollow, sorry about that. And let's just say 32. This is how my computer automates it, but if it's not like that, let's just, for this example, just have it like this. So click OK. Your window will probably unmaximize itself for a second. And as you can see, we have a triple layer in each of these lines. Now, as you have known before, when we go inside of here, it turns black. And now when we go inside of here, we can see in the inside. So that's pretty cool. So now let's just make little entrances. Not very like detailed or whatever, because this is just to get yourself a little more familiar with this kind of editing. So let's just go over to Tools and click on Ungroup. Now, if you left click on something, you can see that it has an individual origin. So, let's just click on one of the sides of the doors. As you can see, this is top view, right here, side view, right here, and front view, as you can see, in the front face. So, and another quick thing, if we hit backspace, usually most programs, whenever we're trying to delete something, we can just hit backspace, and it deletes it. With this kind of program, it does not. You literally have to hit the delete key, or the DEL, on your keyboard. So once you've done that, you now have a perspective mode of it. Now, you can see that it's open and everything. Now, we've pretty much gotten one door open, or entrance, I should say. And now, let's hit delete again. And now, we have our basic door entrances, or entrances, I should say. Okay. So, now, let's go over to Tools. And actually, first things first, let's just mess around with this a little bit more. And as you can see here, there's other objects we can also apply. Not just the box, but we can make a wedge, a cylinder, or a cone. Now, I'm not going to be covering these on this tutorial. After all, this is just to show you get you a little more familiar with Blender.